So there's a common sense rule in sales, which is that you never depress the customer. Because if the customer is depressed, he's like, oh, I don't feel like doing anything. I don't want to buy or sell right now because I'm just in a bad mood. You give me a lot of bad news. Or worse yet, he still wants to buy or sell, just not with you because you're the bad guy. You gave the bad news. So let's get somebody exciting and energetic in here to sell the house. So I'm probably going to lose some business because of this video, but I think it's important you guys know exactly what's going on day to day in the market, because what I have to tell you guys today, there's nothing exciting and upbeat about it, but here are 5 depressing stats that you guys need to know if you guys are thinking of selling a house anytime soon. If you guys enjoy this kind of stuff, like and subscribe. Kind of cheers me up. Thanks. Okay, so let's cover how many listings are selling over asking. What I did was I compared the month of February, which was the peak of the market, to the month of June, just happened now. And I'm going to cover every single region here. And I do realize like this is a very broad overview because there are some, every region has like 50 different neighborhoods in it. And there are some neighborhoods which will never go out of demand. They will always sell over asking. They will always sell at a premium. I do realize that, but this is just a very broad overview of the market. Okay, so in the month of February, I'm covering Halton, Peel, York, Toronto, and Durham. This is what percentage of listings were selling over asking price. You can see like Peel was at 90%. Basically, you put anything up, anything at all, it would sell. You didn't have to do a home inspection. You didn't have to upgrade it, renovate it, nothing. It would sell. Durham was at 93%. Toronto was at 78%. And look at the drop right now. Halton went from 86% to 21%. Durham's still doing okay, like half the listings are still selling over asking price. Peel, same thing, went from 90% to 29% in just a matter of months. Now, a bit of a disclosure about things selling over asking price. If you price anything low enough, it will sell over asking. I'm not knocking the technique, but I'm just saying that. That's all. But you can see the drop in just a matter of months. Now, let's see how many listings are taking longer than 2 weeks to sell. I got to keep my thing moving around here. Same thing here, Halton, Peel, Toronto, York, and Durham. This is how many listings took longer than 2 weeks to sell. You can see they're very low numbers. But compared to June, look at the numbers. I'd say they've almost tripled, for example. Peel went from 116 to 475. Now, in a normal market, I always say this, taking longer than 2 weeks to sell is nothing unusual. That's normal. But because of the crazy market we had, I just thought it'd be interesting to bring up this stat. Okay, and I also did a poll a few weeks ago. So when the prices come up from the Toronto Real Estate Board, I will post them. I did a poll asking which region will experience the biggest drop in the month of June. And a lot of you voted for Durham. Second was Peel. So when the stats come out for the month of June, I talked to them this morning, the Toronto Real Estate Board. They said probably look out for it before the end of the week. So I'll post the prices when they come out. Now let's look at price drops. This is what's actually on the market right now. So if you're thinking of selling, this is technically your competition. Now in Peel, for example, let's say there are 3,100 listings for sale right now. And if you hear that noise, that's my puppy playing with my slipper right now. So try to ignore that, the squeaking noise. Lost my train of thought. Peel, there are 3,100 listings for sale right now. And out of those, 530 of them have had to drop their price because they were not getting the price they wanted. And 2,000 of them have been on the market for more than 2 weeks. So something to keep in mind if you guys are planning to sell and then buy based on when the house sells. So don't start planning on the buying side before you know exactly how long the house is going to take to sell, or preferably wait till it sells because the market has changed quite a bit. So out of 3,100 listings for sale, 2,000 have been on the market for longer than 2 weeks, and 1,100 of them have been on the market for longer than 4 weeks. So that is kind of depressing if you're on the home selling side, because only a few months ago, things were like this, like 3 days, 4 days on the market, $200,000 over asking. So all that stuff is gone. But important to know, I know it's kind of depressing, but important to know. Let's say, for example, Toronto, 6,600 listings available on the market right now on the Toronto Real Estate Board. 4,600 of them have been on the market for longer than 2 weeks. 2,700 of them have been on the market for longer than a month. Okay, how many listings are getting canceled? So same thing, I compared February to May and June, and same regions as before. This is how many listings got canceled. Now, when a listing gets canceled, more than likely it comes back on the market at a different price. In this market, for example, right now in May and June, more than likely it came back at a lower price. Now, there's always a small chance like the sellers just took it off the market because they don't want to sell right now because they're not getting the price they want. But more than likely, it's a great possibility that it wasn't selling, so they came back at a lower price. Look at the difference here. Let's say Peel, for example, 411 listings got canceled in the month of February, went up to almost 1,700 in the month of May, and it's over 1,700 in the month of June. So you can see, depending on where you want to be, like York is at 400, went up 1,500 or so. Now it's at 1,419. This is not a fun feeling if you are on the selling side. That's kind of the reason I'm showing you guys these kinds of stats, because the market's changing so fast. Some agents, not all, most agents will tell you the truth, but some agents are not so forthcoming with all these stats because they're afraid that if they tell you the truth, they might not get the listing at all. So they're kind of just, take their chances, hope it sells. I'm not going to say anything bad. Like most agents will tell you the truth, so that I'll kind of leave it at that. But that's the reason I'm showing you guys these kinds of stats, because you don't want to end up here. Like this kind of stuff, like canceling a listing, because you clean the house, you make sure you don't cook at certain times, and you stage it. The agent spends money too, so he loses too. So it's just a bad experience overall. So that's the reason I'm showing you guys these stats. I know I bring bad news, but I think it's important because the way the market is changing so fast. Okay, and now I think that was about it. So I will be posting, like I said before, I'm just waiting for the stats to come up for the month of June in terms of prices. So I will be posting detailed videos on every single city you see here. So please keep checking regularly, and if you guys enjoy this kind of stuff, please like and subscribe. Kind of cheers me up. And I think that's about it for now. I will be posting those videos, like I said before, on these probably before the end of the week. So please stay tuned. Thanks. See you.